Is it finally time to retire? That is the question we're tackling on today's edition of Retire Now with Marvin Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Matt Chambers, joined, of course, by the man himself, Marvin Mitchell, the president of Compass Retirement Solutions. Marvin, always awesome to talk to you and pick your brain about these things. And you say step one here is to do an income analysis. How do you do that?
There has been a recent market decline, if you haven't noticed, Matt. So it's been definitely a tough start to the year. And a lot of people are seeing some of their hopes and dreams fade away. But I want to tell you, those hopes and dreams don't have to fade away if you have a plan. So an income plan is the way that we can look at your current situation. We can see how much you can actually spend in retirement to account for inflation, to account for taxation. And when you do that correctly, hopefully that will give you more confidence, comfort, and control that you still may be able to retire.
I like those 3 C's. And then, of course, if you're leaving the workforce, you got to think, what are you going to do about health insurance?
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest inflationary issues that we have. Health insurance is always a concern. And unfortunately, COBRA doesn't necessarily reduce your costs. So what you have to do is you have to decide, how do you budget out the healthcare component if you're before Medicare age? So if you retire early at, let's say, 62 or 63, and your spouse isn't working anymore, if you're married, then now we got to cover that based on maybe $600 a month per person, but there may be better options. So don't just automatically assume that the only option is to take health insurance from the open market.
Right, you got to think that through. And then finally, how important is it to update your risk tolerance? Because that's changing as you enter retirement.
A lot of people seem to want to be a lot more aggressive when the market was going up. Well, now the market is going down and everybody is extremely conservative. Really, the answer is probably somewhere in between for most people. So this is the time to say, okay, I'm not confident, I'm not comfortable with what's happening in the market. So I need to change it now, but don't change it back when the market starts to go back up. Stay consistent with your risk tolerance. That's one of the things that we talk about in our book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65. And Matt, that book can be requested by going to KMOV.com/retire now, completely complimentary.
I would strongly encourage everyone to take advantage of that. Marvin, thank you so much for the great tips. Always good to catch up with you. Let's do it again soon, okay?
Thank you, Matt.
You bet. For more information, as Marvin said, you can go to KMOV.com/retire now. Do it now before you forget. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.